What up, though, and welcome to another edition of
The Unfinished Project.
I'm your host, Meech.
And I'm your host, Rish.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, guys.
Hey, Rish.
Hey, Meech. Good afternoon on this good day.
It's a good day, right?
It's a beautiful day. I'm feeling good.
I feel good, too.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Always feeling good. I've been feeling really good lately.
I've been feeling good, but too good. It's been a little bit too much fun.
Oh, never such thing.
No such thing?
No such thing.
Okay, remember that Monday morning when I'm calling you like, child, I ain't make it. No such thing as too much fun.
No such thing.
Okay.
In my book, anyways.
I know. That's because you the one always trying to pull somebody out for fun.
I love to have fun.
No,
I'm trying to have more fun, less stress.
Period.
Especially like this summer, I'm just enjoying my life. I'm living stress-free. Yeah, that's my new thing. Putting myself first, putting my stress level down because I feel like it affects everything else in your body, which is why, whatever. But yeah, I just feel like less stress, more fun.
Because the truth is everything works out.
Yeah, and life is too short to be stressed
and
and worried and all this stuff. Like, I've been really worried for the past few weeks and just overthinking everything, and it has gotten me nowhere.
Yeah.
And I just decided that why do I need to like keep stressing about life? Just live. Yeah. So that's my new thing.
Just live. Let's
see
what happens.
See what happens.
That's what I like saying too. Let's see what happens. Yeah. And then you deal with whatever when you get there, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Hopefully there's not much to deal with.
Yeah, but if there is, you deal with it. We're great problem solvers. We got this.
Absolutely.
So,
friend.
Hey there. Hey, friend.
What are we talking about today?
You tell me.
We're talking about, because I've had this one in my podcast bank. And I don't know why I wrote it in there. I think something may have triggered me one day, but it's about holding your tongue. When is it appropriate to speak your mind? And I feel like it's an important topic to talk about amongst women, amongst black women, because I feel like there is this stigma associated with when a woman speaks up or a black woman speaks up that we're just, you're angry, we're bitchy, we're this and we're that. And it's like, why? If we don't speak up, then we get that, and if we do speak up, then we're hit with all of this.
Black woman, right.
Yeah, so let's kind of dissect that today. Let's talk about it. Let's kind of talk about, like, when is it appropriate to speak up? How do you speak your mind? Things like that, in different areas of your life, friends, family, work, all of that. So tap in, y'all.
So what does it mean to speak your mind?
Speaking your mind is basically to vocalize, like, how you feel about something. Whatever it is, if it's a good thing or it's a bad thing, something has bothered you, just to kind of bring it to the forefront and not, be passive aggressive, not hold something in that could, because you don't want to, stir the pot or, break the peace or whatever you think in your mind. Just kind of basically asserting your feelings because they're valid and not letting anybody silence you for fear of whatever it is. So that's what I think.
Is there, like, when I think of that, right, of course you should stand your ground, stand up for yourself, say how you feel, but, like the question poses, is it always appropriate?
Not always, and I feel like not, whenever you have, like, a thought or something to say, maybe you shouldn't always say it in that moment, maybe you need to sit and think about it. Sometimes we act off of emotions and we just say stuff, and it may not be the time and the place to say it, but it still needs to be said.
Yeah.
It's because we don't need to say it right now. Doesn't mean it doesn't have to be talked about.
Yeah, you do have to consider, like, timing. I feel like timing and talks is a thing. Like,
absolutely.
Because timing could be so bad. I could have something to say to you, but we're upset with each other. I'm pissed off. You're pissed off. And I need to say what I need to say, so probably the tone will be pissed off. Even though what I have to say is valid, is true, is worth hearing, me telling you in a moment when we both pissed off might not be the best.
It doesn't make it better. Yeah, and I've experienced that. I'm like the person, or I was, I feel like I'm kind of in remission of that person that I was, but never wanted to say anything, just kind of holding it in, saying, oh, it's okay, it's all right, bottling all in, and then one day I just explode, and now everything comes out, and now I'm mad about things that's happened, like, months ago.
Yeah.
I'm mad about everything, and now it's all coming out, but it's like, well, why didn't you say anything in the beginning? Why didn't you say anything with the first offense, the second offense? Why did you wait till it snowballed into this big problem? And I feel like that's kind of the line that you teeter on, is when you keep holding it in because it's not the right time. Is it a right time? Some things are just never a right time to say. You just have to just say it. You know, when it comes to like friendships, when it comes to your family, you know, people, I feel like the closer the relationship is, that's like, it kind of makes it, you know, it's like a way, like you have to have more conversations like that. I feel like.
And it's harder to push through because.
It is.
There's like sometimes, I won't say with everybody, there's like an underlying fear. You know, when people don't address things head on all the time, there's an underlying fear of rejection, fear of, you know what I'm saying?
Humiliation, fear of hurting someone's feelings.
Yeah, and for me, it's fear of like not being understood. You know what I mean? Like I really have a thing about someone not understanding me. I feel like when it comes to communicating how I feel and everything, like I just feel like I'm a good communicator, and if you don't understand what I'm saying, I'll flip it for you. Like I'll tell you in every way, and like if you still don't understand where I'm coming from, I get so angry. Like it really pisses me off.
With that, I feel like you speaking your mind and you saying how you feel, you shouldn't always expect a certain reaction or a certain, you know, you're doing it for you. You're speaking your mind just to let it off sometimes.
But not all the time.
But not all the time. Sometimes you do want to have that. And then if you do, I mean, so does that stop you from wanting to communicate or open up?
Yeah.
I feel like that shouldn't.
I'm just telling you.
Yeah, I'm not saying that.
Yeah, because it's like a level of trust for me. Like if I'm letting you into how I feel this deeply, which is already like a level of intimacy for me. So I'm letting you into how I feel, and you're committed to not understanding where I'm coming from. It literally feels like, it like violates my trust. Which is something I've never really verbalized, but that's exactly how I feel. So then if I now in turn feel like I can't trust you, I'll block you out. Now I won't let you into my feelings.
So why don't we not equate communication with trust? Why can't we separate those? Because being able to communicate and saying how you feel to somebody should not equate to, I'm only going to tell you how I feel if I could trust that you're going to hold what I say with care.
Yeah, I don't know why. I guess because even communication is like dear to me. You know what I mean? As much as I communicate, certain levels of communication I only have with a level of trust, and that's one of them. Like, you know what I mean? Being able to freely and openly express how I'm feeling, because I can compartmentalize like my emotions and my feelings, so I can have a full-blown conversation with you, relationship, you know, friendship, whatever with you, where we speak all the time and we talk about all types of stuff. My feelings is just something that's not on the table. So if they are, I do want them to be held with care, and even if you don't agree, at least try to understand, you know?
Absolutely. And I feel like, and that's the thing, that we have all these stigmas on just communicating. It shouldn't have to be like that. Because you shouldn't have to have a fear of saying how you feel because of that. Those are the things that we need to heal, because communication should be something that comes natural to us. So we shouldn't have to have these fears behind us saying how we feel. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's something that I'm working on too. Like, I feel that way too. I don't say how I feel, because I feel like if I feel too deeply and you don't feel the same depth of how I feel, then now, like how you said, I'm upset, or like you don't care, or I have all these thoughts.
Rejection.
Exactly. And I'm trying to unlearn these because they're not true. Just because you don't reciprocate how I feel, or just because you're not, if I feel this way so deeply and you don't, it doesn't make me invalidated because you don't feel that way. And I have to unlearn these things, because I feel like that's causing me a lot of anxiety. It's causing me a lot of overthinking. It's causing me to hold things in where I could have just said, and didn't have to even be that big of a deal. Or if it was that big of a deal, at least it's out and not in. Things like that has, you know, I've learned and I've seen that that's kind of how I communicate, and it's not the most healthy. I don't want to be an unhealthy communicator. So all of this, what I'm saying is like things that I want to be, because I know that I don't I can close down. I could not speak my mind. I could have an attitude. I can do things in every area of my life, not just in friendships, with family. With family, sometimes I'm too blunt. I'm too honest. I say the things that maybe shouldn't even be said. When I'm at work,
too blunt.
I'm just a blunt person. I'm very blunt. I always speak my mind. Sometimes I don't have a filter. Sometimes, you know, it didn't need to be said. Not everything needs to be said, like how you said, you know, not everything has to be a conversation. But at the same time, I've me expressing myself and me being blunt and me just saying how I feel, it's good for me, because I could just let it out. And I feel like I have people around me, and I could be wrong, but I feel like the people around me they allow me to, I could be that way around them because I could just be me. Everybody knows me as that. When my family knows me, they know I'm going to be the one to speak up. They know I'm going to be the one to say something. I'm always the voice of whatever it is. I just have to speak up. I just don't like stuff to just go unsaid. And the more I get older, the less things I want to be unsaid because we could just talk about it. Let's just talk about it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be angry. It doesn't have to be yelling.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be, an argument. We could just talk about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Some things, I'm different. Like, I'll speak up. You know what I mean? Like, definitely I'll speak up. I'll say what I feel. But I am more so, if you don't ask me for my opinion, I'm not going to give it to you. So you can vent to me. You could tell me everything. You could tell me some crazy stuff. You could just be going through whatever. You could tell me. And if you don't ask me, I'm not going to offer.
I don't always offer. I feel like I do a lot, but people think I say how I feel. I don't really say how I feel.
You said that's nothing.
Yeah, it's really not. And I feel like I just say, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know, but it's true. I try, and I've learned, and not everybody is
receptive
of that. I feel like I've been around people who are like that.
Yeah,
not
you're
everybody
not around super sensitive people.
I'm not, and I don't like to be around super sensitive. I don't want to have to walk on eggshells and have to say what I have to say without you having to get all in your feelings. Not everything is to put in feelings. You don't even have to take what I say and put it on you. I can say whatever I want to say, and you putting it on you, that's on you. Yeah. You don't have to take what I say. And I don't want to have to silence myself because you don't like what I have to say. That doesn't even make sense to me. Like, not everybody's going to say what you want to be said. Not everybody's going to just tiptoe and say things and all that. Like, what's wrong with just speaking your mind? You know what I mean? And I feel like I try not to be rude. I'm not a rude person. I'm a very sweet person, very kind person. So anything I say comes of a place of care or love or whatever it is. Yeah. And I feel like it's worked for me. I've been the person to never want to say anything, never speak up, not want to give my opinions, like I said, bottle things up, and I don't want to be like that anymore. So maybe at some point I'm gonna learn like the happy medium in between the two. Yeah. And I feel like I am, but hey.
Right now you say it's either say nothing or I'm gonna say it all. Yeah. But there is a medium, and finding your voice is dope because like I don't know. I don't know if I ever lost my voice. I probably had this, but I came out talking. But like in certain situations, I've silenced myself, right? Because I'm able to read a room. I know who can take what parts of me. You know what I mean? Because the truth is that everybody can't take it, and everybody is not emotionally equipped enough to hear my truth all the time.
Right. I know that. Why is that your problem?
It's not my problem, but that doesn't mean that I can't still cater to it. Like, I can still be empathetic to the type of person you are. Everybody's not, like me, and I can understand that and discern that, and maybe that's why I'm able to have like relationships with people who are different than myself, because the people closest to me are a lot like me, but everybody's not like me, you know what I mean? So like, we just communicate on a different level. It just is what it is. But I've also even found my voice in that though, because those type of people, they seem to they want to be pacified. They don't want to, because they don't want to hear truth all the time. Yeah. Or just,
so they hang around yes people.
Yeah,
and
but
they hang around people who don't say anything and who don't speak up because they don't want to be challenged. They don't want the whatever it is to be said. So they hang around people who don't always bring it. We could just tiptoe and act like it's not there. Or we could just not speak on it and act like whatever. But I mean, not everything. I'm not saying I just go around and say, yeah, you're doing this wrong and you're this and you shouldn't be doing this. Like, who does that? I don't do that. But it's one thing to hold in. If I consider somebody a friend, or whether you're my best friend or an acquaintance or whatever, I'm not going to talk to you the same way I talk to somebody else. But at the same time, I'm not going to, not be me. I'm not going to not speak. I'm not going to, I don't change who I am to appease somebody. I am who I am no matter what room I'm in.
You definitely wouldn't change.
Some things may not be as bold with people as you are with other people, but you still are who you are. And
I'm empathetic though. That's who I am. I'm empathetic with everyone. But
empathetic and speaking your mind, you can't do both. You can't feel how somebody feels.
Absolutely. you can feel how somebody feels, but if you have enough discernment to know, like, you've never dealt with gentle people. Like, some people are emotionally gentle.
So my mom is like that. My whole family is like that. I'm not harsh all the time. I know when it is. You just can't
drop. I come drop a bomb on you. Like,
yeah, I would not drop a bomb on my mom. The same way I would drop a bomb on you. But I mean, the bomb is still gonna get dropped, maybe just not the same way. I'm not gonna throw the bomb at you, but I might gently hit. But it's still what it is.
It's coming, yeah.
I might say it in a nice way to her, not, but it is what it is. Yeah. I'm not gonna not say how I feel because that's. I feel like that's a hindrance to me.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm just going to be like, oh, yeah, this is how I feel. Oh, well, fuck your feelings or whatever. I'm not going to say that. But at the same time, what I have to say and how I feel is also valid. And how you take it, that's going to be up to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could say it nice. I could not say how I feel. I could say a little piece of it. And you might still take offense to it. It doesn't matter. Because that's not your job, is to decide or to figure out how somebody's going to react to what you have to say. You have discernment to know when something should be said. And that's what we're working on.
And how.
The discernment, the how, the filter, all of that.
Yeah, what I was saying was I have found my voice in that. Like, because a lot of this stuff is programming, right? It's like you say, unlearning and relearning. So these are things I learned from the environment I grew up in. But I also, found my voice in even talking to people who don't necessarily want to hear that stuff, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was saying originally. Like, it's tone, it's delivery, it's timing. Like, you just gotta be more. You gotta be more intentional.
Communication is multifaceted.
Yeah, it's so different with so many different people. So like, it's different. But I found my voice even there, like, because I still believe that anybody would describe me the same way, like, yeah, she gonna tell me, like, but I may not even tell you the first time, like, you might not even know offense or nothing you've done, but just something I think or something I've observed or something I think could help. So I might not tell you the first time or the second, maybe not the third or the fourth, maybe the fifth time I'll be like, but da 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 da, and it seems to have more credibility because I'm not just like spewing out what I think and what I feel at every point in turn. I've actually evaluated, you know what I mean? Like, sit back, let you do you. And, this is just what I think. Like,
Absolutely.
And then it seems like it's taken differently. Because a lot of those people are afraid to be judged, too. You know what I mean? Everybody doesn't take criticism and take it and become better. That's something we do well. But a lot of people don't. Like, some people take criticism and live in it, and then they get to the overthinking and thinking that they're less than, or like, is this what you really think of me? Am I like this terrible person? And just over evaluating what is really just like advice or or a criticism. So I don't know. You just have to be more gentle with people. But I also can be the type of person who I'll keep the peace. Like, I won't say how I feel just to keep the peace sometimes. And maybe that's something I need to unlearn. But that's something that I learned because
I was reading something like about that a couple weeks ago, and that's like a unlearning that needs to happen there. You can't silence yourself to keep the peace because you're not at peace.
I'm at peace if there's peace.
But how you're at a pseudo peace because inside you still have a conflict of something I should say, but I'm not gonna say it because I'd rather hold this in than mess up everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So you put yourself second to whatever, and at the end of the day, when you keep doing that, you're not at peace.
Yeah.
There is no peace there. Mm-hmm. You can't be at peace by keeping the peace all the time. Because sometimes the peace it's not really peace. Sometimes what you have to say disrupts the peace for a reason.
Shake the room.
Because it needs to be shaken. Because you have something to get off your chest. That something is not okay. And you rather not say it and let it continue on because you don't want to upset somebody. It's not the most healthy. And I get that because I've been like that. And then it's just not. And I'm still like that sometimes. Sometimes I don't even say how I really feel because it's just like it's not even worth all the, the extraness and the argument. Let's just keep the peace. And I mean, and you pick and choose sometimes where you do that. And sometimes that is the best thing to do in certain situations. I'm not saying that you should always speak how you feel and disrupt everybody's peace all the time because
we know people like that.
Yes, and that's not okay
and you
either.
Just roar through like fire.
Because you having a bad day. Not everybody having a bad day.
Yeah.
Or you have something on your mind that you perceived a certain way, and now you messed up everybody else's day because of however you felt. You know what I mean? So you have to be discerning of that. But at the same time, if you notice a pattern with yourself, that you always tell yourself that you keeping the peace, you keeping the peace, you keeping the peace, and you never get to say how you really feel, or you wait till something really happens, or you waiting for that moment, that perfect time that never comes, like, those are the things that we have to like recognize, because it's not serving us. Communication is a very important part of all relationships. I feel like if you don't know how to communicate well, properly, without yelling, without being passive aggressive, without having a filter, without hurting somebody's feelings, then you hurt people that way. Sometimes you hurt yourself if it's the way that you're silencing or whatever. So there's a balance with it, and a balance that I'm learning, a balance that we all should try to strive to, like, especially at work. I feel like that at work too, when we speak up about our pay, when we speak up about things that, that's happening in whatever your job is, like, you still have to speak up for yourself. Yeah. You have to be your advocate, and nobody's gonna say how you feel for you. Nobody's gonna, you communicating and you speaking your mind. It's not just about a feeling or hurting somebody's feelings. It's so much bigger than that. Yeah. Like, when we think about, like, how we, and I was using the example of work, and how, women don't even get paid the same amount as men, and the same jobs and all that. And then, and then if we do speak up, then we're given that whole cold shoulder. You're angry, you're upset. Like, that has to change, because, we can't, that's not okay. That stigma is not okay. I don't want to be looked at as an angry woman because I'm speaking my mind. Because I'm not angry. Like, I might be upset about what I'm talking about. Since I'm not even upset. It's just what it is. And I don't want to be associated with, being angry or opinionated and all this stuff. When if a man does it, it's not looked at like that. Yeah, it's just whatever. It's just, he's just speaking. He's just bold, and he's this and he's that. And I don't know. Those are the things that when I think about speaking your mind, that's what bothers me. Because I feel like women have always had to be silenced. Yeah. We've always had to, like,
we're always told how to be.
Yes, how to be, when to talk, when to be, what to say, how to say it. Why? Why is it always like that? Yeah. I don't like that.
I mean, but you have to think, like, historically speaking.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, 100 years ago, you couldn't have a bank account.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, let alone a job, and, you make your own choices. So, the liberation of women is very new. And if we just looking at a time perspective, you were spoken for. If you had a husband who spoke for you, you know what I mean, and you did take the back burner, and you did have a seat, and you were silenced a lot, and you weren't defended unless it was by your husband often. You get what I'm saying? And so these are all things that have been passed down through generations, and as we grow and as time continues on, we become more bold, we become more brave, we stand up for what we believe and what we think is right. But this is all very new. Like, I'm thinking about for myself, like, my grandmother, she'll be 90 in a couple days, and she's from Mississippi, she's from the South, and so she was, if she's 90, do the math of what type of time she grew up in and how women were. She's a lady to her core, and she is soft-spoken, and just what you would think of a person from that time. Now here comes my mother. She late 60s. She is bold. She say how she feel. And no chaser, no nothing, like, So she's, before me, and then, like, that's my mother. So here I come, I'm the same way. And so, like, I don't know. As generations pass on, it seems like we are strengthening the women to be more assertive. You know what I'm saying? Assert yourself. And you can still be in your feminine power and be assertive.
Absolutely. And that's the fine balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about my mom. I'm thinking about the women in my family and all of them. My mom hates confrontation. She hates conflict.
Yeah, my grandma
She will keep the peace no matter what. Like, she doesn't like it. Like, even hearing somebody else argue, she won't even stay. She has to leave. Like, she doesn't like any of that stuff. And me, I'm real fiery, real this, real that, And I feel like the reason why I'm that way too is because I've seen my mom just not speaking up for herself. Like, how do you let that slide? Why are you not saying anything?
Yeah.
Like, why is everything just okay? And it's not okay because you sit and you tell me all that's the not okay, but you never speak up.
Yeah.
But you harbor in all of this energy, these feelings, and you never get to express them to the person because you don't want to have an argument.
So maybe you're the way you are because you felt like you had to like stand up for your
Absolutely.
mom. But my mom are the opposite. I'm like, why she gotta do this?
Yeah.
Why she gotta say something right now? Like, yes, you feel that way because mama, she gonna say it. You ain't gotta question how that woman feel. We all gonna know. You ain't even gotta be in the room and you'll know too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I always would think like, man, like,
it's not the time.
It's not the time, or it's not the tone, or it's not the place, and she could have handled that differently. So I tailored my communication style to the way I thought she could have been, right? To keep the peace. Like, this don't have to be all this. You know what I mean? We could, this don't have to be this. But then I am grateful for the fire that she placed in me because when it's time to go, I'll go.
Yeah, and
I'm not afraid to argue. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I will argue with you. We could argue, but I don't prefer to argue. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I prefer, because then that's another thing with me is I don't really have much in between arguing and going to jail. Like, where does that stop? Like, you know what I mean? That's why you don't really see me argue. Like, if I'm arguing, I'm screaming, I'm yelling, and like it's heated. Like, you know what I mean? I'm out of character. I'm way out of character, and I'm a little far, and I don't know how it's gonna get me back. You know, so I don't really know. That's why I can debate with you. We can disagree. We can go at it, you know, for a while. But if I get to that level, I don't really know what's above that. And maybe, I don't know if I should go up there to check.
No, maybe you shouldn't. Maybe that's why.
Maybe stay down here because I know it's not a good place.
So there has to be an in between.
That's my calm. That's the peace. That's
between like debating it and having an argument and saying how you feel and going to jail.
Okay.
There has to be a medium in there.
It's the argue jail for me. Yeah, like they real close.
Right. So you don't even want to get to the arguing because you know the next level is jail, and so you don't even try to. It's like a thermostat. You don't even once you get past 80 degrees.
We balling.
It's cooking time. So you have to figure out something in between there.
Yeah.
Because
even arguing.
Because arguing is not always bad.
No, it's not. Arguments happen. Like, I've learned to argue like a little more calm. I had to learn that in my last relationship because, you know, when I argue, I would scream because that's where I saw it. My mama thought that's I thought that's how you won. Who's louder? That's who won. Not who's right, who's louder, you know? So I saw my mother like argue that way. So, you know, that's how I argue. I already got a big mouth, so we can scream in here. But my ex would shut down. He's like, no. He's like, I'm not talking to you if you're screaming at me. And I'm like, screaming like, I'm not even yelling. You know? And so I had to learn to like argue without yelling.
Yeah.
That was new. I was like, this is a thing? Mm-hmm. People do this?
And arguing for a purpose. Like, I'm trying to
I can't argue for
resolve something.
Yeah.
And some people like to argue for argument's sake. That was my last relationship. He woke up and chose arguments.
It chose violence.
He woke up every morning and said, hey, you know what? Let's argue today.
No, see, I can't do that.
I was like, what? And me, I've never been... I don't like that because I didn't grow up in a household that argued.
Yeah.
And when we did, it was like these big old things and
nobody forgot.
We counted 3 times. We had this big family arguments type of thing. But yeah, so for that was, I didn't realize how angry I was on the inside because I think up until then I've always been silent. I've never wanted to speak up, all that, and I feel like he made me realize how much anger I had in me. That it came out like so much. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna get emotional about that because I literally like went to therapy and was like, I didn't even know I was that angry. Yeah. Like I'm always like the happy one, like the one that's like always sweet, like shy, and like I was just so angry.
That. Yeah.
And like I would say the most crazy things out of my mouth.
Who said that? See, and that's me too.
And then I had to realize, like, I gotta unpack all of this because that's not okay. I can't just be triggered like that. I can't be triggered and argue. Yeah. And I realized, and what I was doing before that wasn't serving me either, because I felt like I would just do things and just never, everything would be okay, or whatever. And inside of me,
it wasn't
okay.
I
felt like I was obligated to do stuff at work and relationships with family. Everything felt like an obligation.
Yeah.
And I never got to say, like, I don't feel like it today.
Yeah.
Or this is not cool. You all can't keep putting XYZ on
me. Yeah.
And I never said anything.
Yeah.
Until I got upset. And I didn't want to be like that anymore. I remember one time me and my sister argued too. And like, I just let out everything. It was about something so minor. And she was like, you always do that. You always bottle everything up and then you explode. And I'm like, dang, like, do I really do that?
Yeah,
and I had to not
do
that.
Yeah.
Because that's not okay. It's not okay to unpack everything on somebody because you wanted to bottle it up.
Yeah.
And you could have talked about all these things.
Because that's
at that
juncture.
Yeah, that's so hurtful. Imagine somebody just lashing out on you about
and
all the things you did that you didn't even know probably could have even hurt you because you didn't say anything. So how am I know I'm even hurting you? Right. Sometimes people do things to you and they don't even realize that they're being how they are. Mm-hmm. And then you internalize it and now you look at them a certain way and they walking around like they did not do anything to anybody.
Yeah.
And you look at them all this way and they do it again, they do it another time, and then all of a sudden one day that was the last straw and now
you the only one caught on the fences.
Yes, because they're not. So that's why I have to learn. I can't keep doing that because that's not okay.
I can be that way too. Like I've had people say that to me too. Like you bottle things up and then you explode.
Yeah.
And then now,
or I move different. I'm acting different, and that's not okay. That's not healthy. And yes, we do it because that's just who we are. We may have been, conditioned this way because of how we grew up. We may, that's all we know, but it doesn't mean that it's right. And that's what I'm trying to get to.
It's so hard to say that though, because speaking my mind has not always served me. Saying how I feel,
and it didn't either before, but I feel like I've let go of what I think is gonna happen. I feel like because like you said, you have to kind of run some. I try to think about what I say, especially if it's like a big thing.
Yeah.
If I have something big on my heart that's been bothering me, I try to think of a way to say this without coming across as angry or like I'm mad at you or it's your fault. Yeah. Like this is how it made me feel. Whether or not you had that intent or not, I don't know. But this is how I felt.
Yeah.
And I had to learn how to do that in a way where it didn't feel like that. I don't know.
I know exactly what you mean.
You know what I mean?
I do. I know exactly what you mean. I'm learning. But I think that keeping the peace is something that I use like to not go there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if it's something we could revisit. Maybe we can revisit it, we can talk about it later, but right now, just,
Yeah, and it's okay to even say that. It's like, stick a pin right here. We're going to talk about this later.
We'll come back to this later, yeah. But, like, now is just not the time.
Right. And that's okay. And that's why you have to be around people. I mean, not everybody. You can't. It's hard to say that. Yeah. Be around people who know how to communicate. Like, you can't make everybody's be able to communicate.
Walking about, and even us considering ourselves the communicators.
Yeah, absolutely.
We are unpacking something that we both need to work on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but
go ahead.
How do you get from this to that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you speak up for yourself in a way that's, I guess, palatable? Or are you just bold and you just don't care what anyone thinks and just, because there are people like that too. And they get far. I know women who don't care what anybody think.
Yeah.
They say how they feel. They don't care how it's taken or how it affects people. Which I think can be abusive.
It is.
Like you just go around throwing your feelings and throwing what you think on everybody with no remorse and no, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not okay either. Absolutely. I feel like with anything, the first step is to just be aware of how you communicate, aware. Just kind of step back. You don't have to make change it tomorrow type of thing. But you just kind of recognize over the next few months, next few weeks, the next year, whatever. Just kind of look at how you communicate. Mm-hmm. Think about your feelings. Like, think of a moment where you wanted to say something and you didn't. Like, just be more aware of it. And then just try to, little things. Just stop. Don't hold everything in. You may not start just saying how you feel about everything, but you'll probably do it more often. Or, I also learn that when you're communicating with somebody, especially how you feel or like if they did something to you, that you make it about you and not about them. Like, so if I'm talking to you, instead of saying you made me feel like this or you did this to me, but I felt some type of way about so and so that happened, or this is when when that happened, this happened to me. You know what I mean? But don't make it about the other person.
Blame.
Right? It's not a blame.
How I feel.
Yeah, and people get defensive. Nobody wants to be talking to somebody and you accusing them of all these things. Like that's so. That's a lot. It's heavy to unpack, to just feel like you just to blame for this person's feelings. And you have to take ownership of your own feelings. Like, you can't put all your feelings and your happiness and your everything into a person, because they will always disappoint. And that's why sometimes we get, we're left feeling certain ways, because now if they don't make us happy or they did something, now I'm unhappy. And that's not always how it should work. So I just feel like just being aware about how you communicate. Focus on the relationships where you don't feel that type of strain. Like, where you feel like you could just talk to that person and you could feel, what is it about that relationship, that dynamic, can you copy in other areas of your life? If you're really assertive with your family and friends and you're not at work, why? Or if it's the other way around, you are the boss at work, but when you come home and you just can't speak your mind. Why is that? What is the difference? Like, look at things like that, and maybe that'll help just kind of, allow you to see, am I really communicating at my best right now? Is this the best way to handle this? Yeah. And, we're not perfect. We're not, we're human. We have emotions. Sometimes you just upset. Yeah. Sometimes you just speak your mind. Sometimes you don't feel like even doing that, and you let it slide and you keep the peace. And that's okay, too, because not everything warrants a whole, let's have a talk, let's have a sit down. Sometimes you could just give somebody the benefit of the doubt. Sometimes it is not that big of a deal. Sometimes it's not worth.
But some people, though, harp on that,
Yeah.
And the fact that you'll never bring it up, like you said, and so like
and they just do things that they know you won't say
that you won't ever say anything, thinking that.
Yeah.
I'm sure we probably will one day, but I don't know. Recently, a place I've learned to assert myself is work, and just saying what I want. You know what I mean, and like what it is I need, and what I will accept and what I will not accept, and what I will do and what I won't do. And being like, that's what it is,
Absolutely.
And I've seen the fruits of that, like higher salaries and, more benefits and just...
And less work.
Less work, you know what I mean? Like, less work that I don't want to do. Like, actually doing what I want to do. But it all started with, wait, no, like, I don't want this. I know I'm worth more than this. I'm worth more than what it is now, too. Truth be told. But I can just remember having that moment, like, no, I want more. I'm going to ask for it. And, like, not fearing rejection. Even in shooting your shot. Like, if you, like, I know a lot of women don't necessarily agree with this, but, like, women won't shoot their shot. Like, they'll see a guy they like, and they won't say nothing because fear of rejection, fear of how it'll come off. Same fears,
just different scenarios.
Women just like want to like sit up and like stare at you. Like,
yeah, that's me. That's how I flirt.
Yeah, like, I don't know how to do that. Okay, show me. What'd you do? That's what you do. I'm not good at like.
No, I don't know what I do, but I'm not gonna go up to them unless I'm drunk. Maybe I will. But I'm not. I really believe in like that whole. I'm like a romantic. You should come to me
and you should just sit and be quiet and let a man choose you. Yeah. That's against everything we just told these folks.
I know, crazy, right? But that's how I feel.
No, not me, child. If I see him, I want him. I'm gonna say something. Because the thing is,
so
they're never going to turn you down.
So in different areas of
men would never.
I know they won't
unless they are like literally like with somebody, and then you don't want that anyway.
Right. That's true though.
Men will not turn you down because men, as much as women don't realize, men don't really want to hurt our feelings. Right? They don't. Right. They don't. Like that's why they do some of the things they do is because they think they're saving your feelings.
We should have a podcast episode about shooting your shot.
We should because I think how to shoot your shot. I'll show you.
Because I don't know.
I'm still hurry with it.
I do not know. Nah.
And then I was also having the same talk though about women, shooting their shot, and are you starting that union off on the right foot? Because if you start leading, will you?
Right? Are you gonna propose to him too?
On this thing, baby, not nanny. I'll never ask a man for his hand in nothing. Except for a hand with the groceries. And I shouldn't have to ask.
Yeah.
No, I'll never, like, the thing about shooting your shot is not to, like, dominate. It's just I'm interested.
Express your interest.
You express interest and then you fall back. Let him do the rest. See if he's a leader, because he'll take the lead if he's a leader. And if not, then you'll be dragging them along from day one, child. So you'll see that soon. Just see those red flags. Believe them. They're not orange. But it's just, say, hey, I'm interested.
That's so funny. You just say, hey, I'm interested.
Last night, I was walking my friend out to the car and I saw this guy. He was really cute, and I already had to stand by him. I was like, I'm just sitting over here with you. I was a little buzzed. So, it probably came out just way too smooth. But I'm like, I'm going to stand right. So next to your fat ass.
That's me when I'm drunk.
Aggressive. Yeah, it is you. Put your number in this deal. No, so I'm like, I have to stand with you because they didn't want me to like leave all the way and come back. So I was like, I'm staying with you. I'm like, oh, you kind of cute. You single? And he was like, yeah.
Matter of fact,
I am single. And then we started talking. He's like, well, aren't you glad you came? Because I was saying, like, this is not my scene, whatever. But, I'm here. And he's like, aren't you glad you came out? Because you would have never met me. And And then, let that man take the lead, child. I mean, it was just last night, so we don't know where it went. But shoot your shot. Speak up for what you want. Don't sit there passively.
Speak your mind. Do not hold your tongue.
Because women like me are going to get the good ones. We're going to snatch them up. And you're going to be sitting over there waiting to be chose. And he was on his way to you, but then I met him in the middle, and I already stepped in. What if he was on his way over to you, sitting there, making eyes, right? You over there like,
well, if he made eyes with me and I made eyes with him, he's walking over.
And he walking over, but then I cut in between.
Excuse me, miss.
You getting up now? You getting up?
Excuse me.
You already sitting, waiting.
He's gonna tell you I already seen who I had to see today.
He don't know you.
But he seen me.
And then nothing may ever come of it.
So I was supposed to walk all the way across the club and say something?
No. You could have went to the bathroom.
Okay. I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna ponder on that one.
Okay, let's try it.
I'm gonna try to speak my mind. Oh, that's a hard one. I don't know if I could do that one. I'm not that
if you do that one, then I won't keep the pieces much. I'm gonna just start shaking the table. I'm shaking the table. I'm ruffling feathers. That's it.
And now I'm shooting my shot.
Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to update y'all.
This is giving me anxiety. I'm not shooting my shot, guys. I don't know.
You're not gonna get shot down.
I'm
telling
shy. You know I'm shy.
She's so fake shy. She's not shy on Saturdays, Friday nights, Thursday nights, Sunday. Sunday afternoon, maybe shy.
I'm shy on
Tuesday
Monday mornings. Monday mornings, I'm shy.
It makes me so angry.
And Wednesday afternoon.
That's your shy. Okay, we won't go out then.
And I'm shy right now.
As she speaks to the world. I'm shy.
I'm bashful.
My best friend's not shy.
I was one of the
7 Doors.
Mm-hmm.
Well, which one I would have been tipsy?
They got a tipsy one. You don't have a tipsy. You would be sleepy. No, that would be Christine.
Yeah, Christine
you
would be sleepy. I was about to say
dopey.
drowsy. Dopey? Ain't you stupid? Or that's the bad word. So, don't make me the slow dwarf.
You're not the grumpy
I'm
one.
Beauty. I'm not even a dwarf.
She was Snow White.
Oh.
Anyway, we totally off topic.
Wait, Snow White is the Sleeping Beauty, right?
Sleeping Beauty is sleeping. I mean, she ate the bad apple.
And she was
passed out.
Beauty.
She died, and the prince woke her up. But Sleeping Beauty is a whole other princess.
No, it's not.
Oh my god.
So Sleeping Beauty is who?
She has blonde hair.
So does Snow White.
Snow White has black hair.
Okay.
Anyway,
Snow White does have black hair. So 2 princesses was asleep. We gotta discuss this.
She was only asleep because she died.
I know.
Sleeping Beauty was asleep because she had a spell on her.
Okay. Disney princess.
You're not a Disney.
Cinderella was my favorite anyway, so.
My favorite was The Little Mermaid. She's a Disney princess, Ariel.
That's because that's your name.
And because she's my favorite.
That's cute. Okay, so we're committed. We're locked in.
All right, we're committed to
I'm shaking the table. You shooting your shot. And we're going to just voice how we feel.
And I can't be drunk.
At the right time. You could buzz, not drunk. Because you're not even going to remember.
I'm not getting drunk anymore, guys, anyway. I'm drinking less.
I thought you was having more fun.
I don't have to drink to have fun. That's what I'm trying to learn. Dry January taught me that I can have fun and not have alcohol.
I learned that at one point.
Yeah.
I feel like
I'm just trying to be outside, like on the beach, like on the You know, that's what I'm trying to do.
It's so funny. We go through the same things at different times. Remember when I was on that wave like 2 years ago?
Oh, yep.
Yep. And you was on this one.
Yep. Here we are now. Switcheroo.
Here we are. Yep. And I don't know how they came back to this.
I'm trying to be at peace. Alcohol doesn't give me a lot of peace anymore.
Okay.
It gives me... it's a lot. The next day I feel sick. I don't like the feelings. I'm not 20 anymore. I'm 30. It's so different, guys. It's so different when you're in your 30s.
Whatever. This is 30-year-old Rish.
I'm trying to learn how to drink socially.
Yeah.
And have a couple drinks.
Yeah.
And not have a whole bottle of Jameson, guys. That's where I'm trying to
How does one have 2 drinks?
And not a
See, I can
bottle.
socially drink. That's the thing.
I can, but then I can't. Because the thing about when I start drinking, that person wants to drink more.
Yeah. You just slow it. You slow it up.
Man, I've definitely gotten better. I'm not even how I was.
Yeah, you sip slow.
Absolutely.
That's why I don't take shots. You always shot.
I know, it's always shot o'clock.
Yeah, and never in my world, I'm sipping. That's what I always say.
Yeah, that's what I have to start drinking drinks and not taking shots.
Sip. You catch it slower.
Yeah.
And by the time it's too late, you at home. By the time you already caught up,
it's time to go.
Time to go.
I'm trying that too. I have a lot of things to try.
Got nothing to try. Put that
but
on
I
this.
have been trying that out, honestly.
I know you have.
I haven't been drinking a lot.
I know.
I really haven't. Even last night, I didn't drink that much.
No, I did. That was All-Star Weekend, child.
Anywho.
Child. That's another episode. That's another topic. But this was good. Yes. Of course, I'm leaving with homework. So are y'all. We're going to assert ourselves. But also, you know,
find your voice. Timing. Put a filter on it when it's appropriate. And
take the filter off if you need to. Shake the table.
Shake the table. Ruffle some feathers and shoot your shot.
Period.
Speak your mind.
Don't tell you how this goes.
Oh God, I know. I'm gonna tell y'all.
I know.
That it was a complete fail, and I'm never doing it again.
She'll be like, I'm married now. Okay, guys.
All right.
As always, we appreciate you for listening. Tell a cousin and tell a friend to check out an episode. Follow us on Instagram at The Meech Show. Follow Rish at Ariel_MARII. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like this video, share with your friends. We love y'all. And we got more stuff coming, so stay tuned.
And we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Cool.
So for real, you shooting your shot?
I guess.